was 7, I used to hear voices under my bed. My parents said it was just dreams, but dreams don't whisper your name while you're awake. Every night I'd lie still, blanket pulled to my chin, staring into the dark gap beneath the frame. And always, after the house went quiet, after my parents' footsteps faded down the hall, the voice would start, soft, slow, so close it felt like it was crawling out from under the mattress. Ali, that's what it called me, my name, and every night it said it differently, sometimes pleading, sometimes playful. Once, it even laughed. I told my mother once, trembling. She smiled in that tired way adults do. There's nothing there, sweetheart. You just have an active imagination. But the next morning when she lifted the bed to sweep, I saw it. A small handprint in the dust. Not mine, not hers. It was darker, longer, like something had been waiting there a long time. That night, I slept in my parents' room. But even there, just as my eyes closed, Ali, it came again. Not from the bed this time, from under the door. After that night, my parents brushed it off again. They said maybe it was the wind under the door, or the old pipes in the floor. But wind doesn't laugh, and pipes don't say my name. For the next few nights I slept with the lights on. I'd leave the lamp glowing beside me until my eyes burned. But when sleep finally came, I'd still wake up to the sound. Ali, longer this time, like it was savoring the name. Sometimes it sounded close, sometimes far, like whoever it was kept moving around the room, on their elbows, dragging across the floor. One night I gathered the courage to speak. My voice barely came out. Who are you? Silence. For a moment I thought maybe I'd scared it away. Then, right beneath my ear, through the thin mattress, came the reply. You don't remember me, I screamed. My father came running, flipping the lights on. He checked under the bed, the closet, even the window latch. Nothing. But when he looked back at me, he froze, because his hands, the ones holding the bed up, were covered in dust. Not normal dust, black, thick, and on the underside of my mattress, faint but visible in that light, were scratch marks, thin, long, as if someone had been clawing upward, trying to get out. That night they moved my bed away from the wall, but I didn't tell them the truth, because I could still hear it. It wasn't under the bed anymore. It was behind the wall. Years passed. We moved houses, twice. Different streets, different rooms, different beds. And still, some nights when everything went quiet, I could swear I heard it. That same dragging whisper, that same low crawling tone wrapping around my name. Ali. At first, I thought it was memory, trauma, something my mind refused to forget. But one night, when I was 17, I woke up in my new room, the one on the second floor, and realized the voice wasn't T in my head. It was under me. I froze, hand halfway to the lamp. My bed sat on a thick carpet, no gap underneath, no way for anyone or anything to be down there. Still, I heard it, the breathing, slow, shallow, deliberate. Then, 3 words. I missed you. My body went cold. I jumped off the bed, grabbed my phone, and shined the flashlight across the floor. Nothing. Just carpet. But the sound didn't stop. It followed, shifting direction as I moved, like it was underneath wherever I stood. I stomped on the floor. Hard. Silence. Then, a whisper, directly in my ear. You grew up. I dropped the phone. Its light rolled under the desk, and for 1 second, I saw it. 2 fingers, pale and long, slipping back into the shadows under my bed. I didn't sleep that night, not because I was scared, but because every few minutes I heard the voice again. Only now. It wasn't calling my name. It was saying something else, repeating it softly, over and over. You left me there. I couldn't keep living like this, jumping every time the floor creaked, sleeping with the light on like a child. So I decided to prove to myself it wasn't real. If I could catch it on tape, or catch nothing at all, maybe I'd finally know the truth. That night I set my phone to record video. I balanced it on a chair pointed at the bed, flashlight on low. Then I climbed under the blanket and pretended to sleep. For almost an hour, nothing. Just my own breathing, the occasional car passing outside. Then, at 3:12 a.m., I felt it. That weight, that change in the air. Soft scratching started under the bed. Not frantic, not loud. Almost like nails on paper. Then a voice, clearer than it had ever been. "Allie." Pause. "Come down." I clenched my fists under the covers, heart hammering. The scratching turned into a slow, rhythmic thump against the underside of the mattress, like someone knocking from below. I couldn't take it. I sat up and switched on the light. Nothing. Carpet, bed frame, no gap to hide in. My phone screen was still glowing. The recording was still running. Hands shaking, I pressed stop and opened the file. Static hissed from the speaker. Then my own sleeping body came into view. And something else. For 2 full seconds, a pale face with black pits for eyes pressed itself up against the mattress from below. The skin of its cheeks flattening like wet cloth. It wasn't looking at the camera. It was looking straight at me, through the mattress. The clip ended there. I dropped the phone, breathing hard, because right as the video cut off, a whisper rose from under the bed. "Now you've seen me." I didn't sleep the next night. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that pale face pressed against the mattress, like a drowned thing, eyes like pits. I left the lights on. I left the door open. I even dragged my mattress off the frame and threw it in the hallway. I lay down on the bare floor like a prisoner, telling myself it can't get under me if there's nothing to be under. But sometime after 3 a.m., the whisper came again, not from the floor, from the ceiling, slow, drawn out. "Ali." I scrambled to my feet. The ceiling above my head bulged inward, as if something heavy was crawling across it. Plaster cracked, little flakes of white dust drifting down. I ran to the bathroom and slammed the door. No bed in there, no dark gaps, just tile, just walls. But the whisper didn't stop. It came from the drain. It came from under the sink. It came from everywhere there was a space small enough to crawl into. "You left me there, but I followed you." My phone buzzed on the counter. A notification. It was the video file from last night. Only now, the thumbnail was different. Not me sleeping. Not the face under the mattress. It was a shot of the bathroom door. From the outside, I dropped the phone, heart racing, and turned to the door handle. It was turning slowly, by itself. The whisper came right next to my ear, warm and wet, though nothing stood there. "Let me out from under you." And then, from beneath the bathroom door, a pale hand slid through, long fingers splayed wide, dragging black dust in streaks across the tile, reaching for my bare feet. That night, I didn't sleep at all. Every creak of the floor, every whisper of the wind sounded too human. I sat in the corner of my room, flashlight trembling in my hand, staring at the bed, the same one that had become my nightmare. The clock struck 3:07 a.m. A cold gust of air slipped through the cracks of the window, and then I heard it again, a whisper, but this time it wasn't muffled, it was clear. Daniel, my name. It said my name. The voice crawled out from beneath the bed, slow, deliberate, like it was testing me. I froze. My heart was thundering so loud, it felt like it could wake the whole neighborhood. The flashlight flickered once, twice, and went out completely. Darkness swallowed the room. Something shifted beneath me. The wooden floorboards groaned, and then a hand, pale, thin, cold as death, brushed against my ankle. I screamed and stumbled back, crashing into the wall. The voice giggled. You dropped something. Daniel. The flashlight. It was under the bed. But when I looked down, I saw two eyes staring back, wide, unblinking, shining faintly like wet glass. I didn't think. I ran through the door, down the hall, out into the street, barefoot, shaking, crying. When the neighbors called the police, they searched the entire house. No one was there. No sign of anyone ever being under my bed. But as the officers were leaving, one of them called me over and asked quietly, Son, your grandmother's house was supposed to be empty, right? I nodded. He looked uneasy, holding up a photo frame they'd found under the bed. It was old, faded, a boy about my age, standing next to the bed, and beneath it, two eyes, barely visible in the darkness. On the back of the photo, written in shaky handwriting, were the words, Don't ever listen when it whispers your name. 3 months later, I finally moved out. New city, new apartment, no old creaky floors, no dark corners, and definitely no bed with history. For the first time in weeks, I slept. Or at least, I tried to. It was quiet that night. Too quiet. The kind of silence that doesn't rest. It waits. I turned on my side, facing the wall. The moonlight from the window stretched across the room like silver fingers, and then something soft brushed against my leg, like fabric or hair. My eyes shot open. I froze. No, not again. I slowly leaned over the edge of the bed, flashlight trembling in my hand, and whispered, Who's there? No answer, only my heartbeat. Then, faintly, from the floorboards beneath me, a whisper rose. Daniel, you forgot to say goodnight. The flashlight slipped from my grip, rolled under the bed. Its beam landed perfectly, right into the darkness below. And for half a second, I saw something staring back. A face, pale, smiling. Not the same one from before. This one looked older, like it had been waiting. You moved, it whispered, but I never left. The light flickered once, then went out. The next morning, my landlord called, said the tenant below my apartment complained about hearing someone whispering all night. From under the floorboards,